It's just totally bizarre. And sometimes it just trying to wrap my head around all the different stuff that this Keynesian expansion of the currency supply has caused is very difficult. The dollar is rising internationally. That's probably the reason for the pullback. But why should the dollar rise when you've got all of this raging inflation? Because the dollar domestically is being devalued through inflation, while internationally it's gaining purchasing power against other currencies. So that means there's more demand for the dollar. This could be Brent Johnson's milkshake theory coming true, or it could be that people are being scared away from other currencies because some other currencies might be being inflated more than the dollar. It's just so difficult to try and figure out all of this stuff. I do see this, though, as an opportunity. I think, I did a video last week on, by the way, you will hear dogs barking, horns honking, and you might see some chickens behind.
Yes.
I'm up on the ranch right now, and we've got a couple of goats. We've got more than a dozen chickens and more than a dozen ducks, and it's sort of fun up here. So you'll hear some background noise. There's some construction people up here that are going to be leaving shortly. Anyway, it's what it says is that this pullback in precious metals is probably a short-term opportunity. If you've got raging inflation like this, over the long run, gold and silver rise during these periods of time. When you've got negative real yields, when the yields on bonds and so on are negative because you take the yield minus inflation. And so everything, if you park capital over in bonds right now, you are losing a lot. I mean, it's very costly. So for me, one of the announcement that I was going to make is I am going to use this opportunity myself. A couple of weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I said, the silver had fallen, or gold. And I said that, but it could fall further, so I'm not buying yet. Well, now I am. There's going to be some other announcements on my insiders video because there are some other investments that I've made. So I'm going to be making an insiders video and posting that as well. And so they'll find out what I'm buying. This is just an opportunity. And if the symmetry move plays out, we've got until like March or so of this year, March or April, to accumulate. And then it would be off to the races. But that's if. If you look at symmetry, it plays out quite often. And this cup and handle formation that we've made with gold is extremely bullish as far as technical indicators. But, eventually...
Mike, you were going to show us some charts there of things that you actually said last summer, and I thought they were very insightful. So share some of these gold and silver charts with us. Okay, so the first one that I'll show you is a chart of gold that I made back in October of 2020 with some targets. And, what I did was I did a Fibonacci retracement from the low in March 2020 flash crash, basically. It was a pretty quick crash and recovery. There, by the way, is another example of symmetry. Look at that crash. It's an inverse head and shoulders, with each shoulder taking about the exact same time duration before breaking through. And we now have that long-term symmetry from the 2011 high. There was a consolidation, and then we've got the consolidation we've been going through. So this is from more than a year ago, this chart, and it's showing that there is a major trading range support and the 50% retracement at 1771.42. We're, I believe, at 1773 right now, which is close enough. So I'm going to be taking some of my capital and buying silver because of the gold-silver ratio, which we'll talk about in a minute. I'm not going to be buying gold at this point. We're looking at a chart of gold. So I'm going to be buying silver. So that brings us to the next chart, which is silver, also from October 30, 2020, this chart that I made, with a 50% retracement of 2083. And silver is not down there yet, but it is fairly close. Then you see a major trading range support at the 61.8% retracement, which is $18.65. So if you see, but one of the things that does happen, there's round number support. There will be a bunch of buyers that come in. If it goes down there at $20 or just above it, there would be more at 19. So I would be buying at those prices as well. I would not spend all of my capital in one tranche. And then I want to go all the way back to my final chart was an update on this on March 26th of 2021. The reason I want to go to this one is it shows that on that first chart, it shows the major trading range support. You don't see any support in the 50% retracement area, that $20.83. But when you go to this, the March of 2021 chart, March 26, 2021, you see that it's a longer term chart. And you see that there was, this one has a slightly different high because this is not an intraday chart. This chart is done on the close of each day. So it's pennies different, but $20.62 for the 50% retracement. And you see it touching the high of July 2016, July or August 2016. And that is a support zone right in the middle then, right in that 50% retracement. So, we've got 2272 and what was so we're at 2193 right now. So we're slightly below that 38.2% retracement. But yeah, I drew these and I've set aside capital sort of waiting to see if these prices happen. I'm in a fairly good position when it comes to accumulating metals because I've been doing it now since 2002, getting ready for what I saw coming. And I thought that in 2008 that would be it, but they papered over 2008 and they've made the problem worse and they bought themselves some time. But the ultimate crash is going to be so bad now because of the quantity of currency that they've created to create this fake economy.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
Do you want to know one thing about crypto? I made over 3,000% in profit in a few weeks. Fact is, the traditional financial system, the traditional money system makes you poor, not rich. If you want to earn $500,000, $1 million, you have to wait until you're 50, 60, 70 in the traditional financial system, and you probably will still be broke. And you will be old. This is not a sexy combination, as you can imagine. But the question is, how can you start in crypto and make these profits? Where to invest? Where to start? My name is Gunnar and I'm from Germany, as you can hear, and things are a little bit different in Germany. More about that later on. Fact is, there are lots of different cryptocurrencies. It's a gigantic universe where beginners and professionals get easily lost. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are 7 key steps you need to follow to become successful in this market. You have to know them, and if you fail one of them, it's literally impossible to succeed in this market. Just an example, one of the key points is your exchange, and one of the biggest are, for example, Binance and Coinbase. These are trusted and well-established exchanges, but, and this is a big but, you won't find the super profitable coins on those exchanges. The unknown super profitable coins that get gigantic profits are not traded on those kind of exchanges. They are traded on much smaller insider platforms that are barely known. And I can tell you what those super secret exchanges are and why they are so profitable. And another super important thing are the right information sources. The point is, the internet is gigantic. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels, blogs, pages, and much more. And there are also market makers and influencers. For example, Elon Musk, he is not a crypto guy, but the moment he recommended Dogecoin, it went through the roof, to the moon, so to say. But why did he recommend it? Where did he hear it from? He didn't hear it from newspapers. And believe me, he is listening to someone. But you have to know who, and you have to react before he is reacting. This is really important. And these are only 2 of the 7 steps you have to follow in order to be successful in crypto. And if you want to know all of these steps in much more detail, and if you want to have a comprehensive checklist, here's what you should do. There is a link below this video. Click on this link and you will get the opportunity to subscribe to my channel. Click on the link and you will see a video where I explain the next steps. So see you soon. Click on the link now. I'll see you there.